I have been around long enough to know a good lamp. I can tell a beautiful, perfect lamp from first sight. Now, lamps are incredibly underrated. Now, obviously, lamps are not the best source of light, but they are the most cozy. You know, when you step outside, you have the sun, this overbearing heat, this overbearing light. And that's beautiful. That's great. But in your own home, that light isn't always available. Yes, you might have windows in your room, but some rooms don't have windows. And sometimes the way the room is positioned, it's too much light or too little light. So we have artificial lights. Now I'm talking mostly about your ceiling mounted lights. The lights that 99.9% of you guys have in your house. You have them in your kitchen, your living room, your dining room, your bedroom, everywhere. Everywhere. You have those LED bulbs, those bright white bulbs. Now, those are perfect at lighting up your room, but they have this cold, sterile feel to them. It's not quite that coziness that is the topic of this episode. That coziness can only come from a well-placed lamp. A lamp with a nice, warm-colored bulb in the optimal spot in the room. Most of the time, that's in a corner. A lot of the times, it's furthest from the door. Now, why is this important? Because it sets the mood. It sets the mood of your house. You do not want to live in a house. You do not want to spend your time in a room that feels like a hospital, that feels like a school, that feels like your office, with that white, horrific fluorescent light. That's not what life is about, folks. Life is about a warm, soft glow when the main lights are off and all you have is that little beacon of light sitting in the corner. It is bright enough to where you can see and still operate, as usual, as normal. But it's dark enough to where the melatonin in your body can start to creep in. You can start to feel that relaxing, cozy, calm feeling in a room. And that is incredibly important. Incredibly important. It is not good to just have your lights on, your bright lights on, and then just flip them off and go to bed. You need to have an hour or two of that transition phase. And that can only be accomplished with a lamp. Now, yes, you can replace your overhead lights with those warm bulbs. But folks, it's just not the same. It's not the same. And it's not practical. It isn't practical because there are times, especially during the day, where you need to get shit done. You need that white, overbearing light to try and jolt you into a working mood, a working time. It's exactly like the sun. Your body feels that bright light and knows that it's time to, be awake, time to focus, it's time to work. You have tasks to complete. And when the room is completely dark, the body knows it's time to sleep. It's time to rest, time to relax. And that's why a lamp is so important, because it's that transition phase. It is just as important as the aforementioned two. And this can only be accomplished with a well-placed lamp. Now, there are many kinds of lamps. There's the full string lamps. There's like the ones where you just touch the rim of the lamp and it lights on. There's ones that are connected to your light switch. If you are a true gamer, you have the clap-on lights, which I have always disliked. But I respect it. I respect the early 2000s when you thought that you were cool because you could clap and turn your lights on. And now it sucks because it'll be really, really late at night and you'll hear someone breaking into your house. And then you have to start clapping in order to turn your lights on. Not the best. Not the best. But the method on which you turn on your lamp is not important. The importance comes in the lamp itself. So, maybe, just maybe, try something else new. I'm sure most of you have had a lamp sitting in your room for years, decades maybe. Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Maybe it's time for some change. You can get a different method of turning it on. You can put it in a different place in your room. I think you're going to notice the results right away. You're going to notice that coziness that you've taken for granted all these years. Think on that. Think on that. Thank you for listening to this, and I will see you tomorrow.